do you think seeing that this is what your system looks like, this trade distribution, it's the personality of your system, do you think from the first time you saw this that it's going to help you become a better trader?
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's going to give me a lot of confidence. One thing it does is you could look at all your trades at a snapshot and actually get a feel for what the system's trying to do. I mean, if you scroll down the data tab and you look at all those trades that you entered in one by one, all 650 trades, there's no way that your brain is going to be able to take all that information in and interpret it in a way that this histogram allows you to interpret just at a glance. I mean, I could look at this at a glance view of all my trades and really understand what's happening with my trade system, what's the personality of it. In fact, when I look at this trade system, I think of a baseball team. I think of a real solid team that puts together a lot of rallies, a lot of base hits that gets those runners into home plate, but it also has some big sticks in the lineup that's going to swing for the fence, and it's going to give you a couple big home run trades that knock the ball out of the park. I mean, I see a handful of trades that are over 50 points, and I see even some trades that are in the triple digits. But if I look on the losing side, I don't see any trade that's minus 50 points and not one trade that's in the triple digits on the negative side. So, you know, if a team can get a batting average like what this trade system is producing, they would be unstoppable. They'd have to probably make the game of baseball, you know, it'd render it obsolete because it wouldn't be fun anymore. No one would be able to compete with a team like that. So does that make sense, putting it into a metaphor such as that?
Absolutely. I love that baseball metaphor. And just to further a point you also made, the idea that there's three ways you can look at your trades. You can look at a list of all your trades, and it's 650 trades long in this case, and you can't figure out what it's doing. Sure, you can look up and see that it made money and that it's had 70% winners, but gosh, does that tell you everything you really need to know? No. And then the other thing you can do, and I'm just going to switch tabs real quick here to really drive that point home about how this one chart really gives you a snapshot of what your trades are doing. Because if we go over here and look at the long short tabs, the very next tab, okay, and I'm going to slide down here to all trades, this lower graph. Now that essentially is the same information, TJ. Now, does that bottom graph in blue tell you more than the graph on the trades distribution?
Well, I don't know if it tells me more, but it just gives me another way to look at all those trades, because what I'm seeing, of course, is the random distribution of wins and losses. We don't know if any trade will win, if any trade will lose. But what it also tells me is that I've put the odds in my favor on every trade, not just because I've won more trades than I lost, but when I did win, I won more in points than the trades that I lost. And it reminds me of that George Soros quote that we use in a lot of our training, that it doesn't matter if you win or lose. What only matters is how many wins you make versus how much you lose, and how much you make when you win versus how much you lose when you lose. That makes sense. And this chart points it out very clearly. The losses are all cut off. They don't extend down very far. And the winning trades, where they're clustering up, on average is higher than the losing trades, but then you also get those nice big home run trades, and those really supercharge the results.
Sure.
See it.
And the other thing that this chart does is it essentially gives you a time sequence of your trades. So you can see in order, in sequence, when those trades occurred, but it doesn't give you the simpler view that the trade distribution does. With this view on the trade distribution, you can really see where those trades were clustering.
Yeah,
and you can't see that quite as well.
Yes, you could look at the quantity of trades for each point bin, for each range of points, and on the other chart, you can actually see winning streaks. You could see the time element of those trades, and that is pretty cool. And if also with this histogram here, you can look down and go to the lower part of this window, and you can take a peek at your longs versus your shorts. And that also reveals to you a lot about the personality of your trade system. You know, in this case, and you pointed this out to me, Barry, is that it's pretty well balanced. You could see the distribution is almost the same, give or take, and the winning trades and the losing trades have a pretty good distribution of wins and losses. That is another sign of a very robust and stable system, because whether this, you know, the overall trend was up or down, with this system it didn't matter that much, because this system made money going long and going short pretty close to even within, you know, a few percentage points.
Yes, TJ, you know, I love what you said there, because it really makes it clear it didn't matter the direction of the market. You don't have to be fearful when the market's going down or elated when the market's going up. You know you're going to make money because you can look at these two graphs here and see that those distributions are pretty well balanced. They look similar on the short side as they do on the long side. And man, it gives you just a lot of confidence in your trading system, in your trading plan, to know that it doesn't matter what the market's going to do, you're going to make money.
And without confidence, there's no way to take internal ownership of your system. And if you can't do that, you're doomed, because then you can't believe in it. You can't trade it as intended. You can't get the edge that it gives you over time. You start second guessing. You start making those kind of psychological mistakes that doom all traders. And then you end up trading something other than the system. You have no way to know what those results are going to be. You're not going to have any nice histograms or statistics that are going to give you anything meaningful. So it all boils down to confidence and being able to look at your trades in such a way. I mean, there's nothing more critical than that. I mean, assuming it's a winning system. If you have a winning system, it doesn't mean you can trade it. You still have to be the one pulling the trigger and taking the trades. So confidence is everything.
I absolutely agree with you. Absolutely. So, well, that basically covers this. I think these trade distributions are just very enlightening, what they can tell us. And as I said in the introduction, most traders have never actually looked at a trade distribution. So they don't understand what their system is really doing, because they've got too much information coming at them all at once.
Yeah, no way to filter it and disseminate it into something meaningful.
Yeah.
Barry,
so I hope
briefly,
go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but before we end this video, could you walk us through some of those columns on the right, E, F, G?
Oh, sure.
What do those mean?